still, the WBU's light welterweight champion of the world from Manchester, Rikki the Hitman Hаттон.
Well, that's interesting. One of the judges must have deducted a point for a low blow to score it 120-107. Doesn't much matter. It's a landslide win for Hаттon. The other two gave Vilches a share of one round. That was all. Everything else to Rikki Hаттon.
Rikki the Hitman Hаттon.
So will it be onward and upward from here for Hаттon? We'll try to get a word with him in just a moment or two on that very subject. And lots more action to come here in Manchester. The main man in these parts at middleweight, Anthony Farnell, up against Eugenio Monteiro, the Portuguese, now based here himself and looking to establish himself in Manchester at Farnell's expense. Barry, your overall thoughts on that performance tonight from Rikki Hаттon?
I'm not surprised at all. I didn't expect him to be sharp the whole way through. He boxed great. If he can win like that when he's feeling flat, by God, he's going to be very impressive. He's in good form.
Glenn?
Well, I think it's obviously he's been in training far too long. He's flat. He needs something. He needs a bit of time off, and then he needs a challenge.
He's ready to speak to us now.
36-0, a fairly comfortable win for Rikki Hаттon, but did you feel flat in there?
To be honest, you know, I felt really comfortable. Never once all the way through did I feel like, you know, not in control or losing my grip. I just felt really, really flat and tired. I don't know, I think, you know, I had damaged hand trouble after the Pedersen fight for 3 weeks, so really, you know, I only had 5 weeks to prepare for this. And
was it all a bit of a rush? That the problem?
Well, I mean, let's just say it was under par performance. You know, I don't want to be one of these that start saying my hand was bad, this was bad, that was bad. I just think I think I won reasonably comfortable. You know, I did as I pleased, but you know, felt, you know, well below par. And I think the reason for that was maybe slightly close.
You've aired your frustrations in public recently about not getting the big names. You thought Kelson Pinto last time, Shambe Mitchell this one. You need someone now, don't you?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I wanted to put on, you know, a slightly better performance than I did tonight, you know, to keep proving that I am one in the top, you know, the top light welterweights in the division. But it just wasn't there tonight. But to be honest, I did that with relatively ease. You know, I think if you could see by my expression in the ring, you know, it was frustration, and you know, felt really in control. Just couldn't get that kick, you know, that burst. You know, I didn't feel as strong as usual. I think the reason was that I had to cram it in and all a little bit quickly, you know.
Frank Warren, the talk is October, possibly Paul Spadafora or Vivian Harris. Does he need a challenge, and can you deliver it?
Yeah, we can deliver it, and he's had challenges. I don't know, I mean, you know, all this doing him down, talking about the opponent, the type of opponents he fights, it's totally out of order and it's unfair. You know, Ricky's fought some decent guys, and I thought tonight, I think even there he's doing himself a disservice. You know, he called that guy, I thought it was a legitimate shot, and I thought the referee started counting. Then and the amount of low blows that he got caught with during the fight, I think the referee lost total control of the fight at times, and you know, he was one of the most poorest referees I've seen. But he'll get the big fights, and he will have a big fight in October. And he's already had big fights in the past.
Sure, he has. Yes, he has. But are we going to get Paul Spadafora October?
You're going to get Paul Spadafora or Vivian Harris. You know, that we've told you that, and next week I hope that one of those will be in place.
And if that's not delivered, Rikki, will you start to think about other options?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
what are other options? Explain me. What do you mean other options?
Well, I'm just saying if you can't get the big fights, because he's wanted them.
What do you mean by we want them? I'll tell you what to do. You go to your bosses at Sky and ask them to pull up the money that we need to make the fights, and we'll make them, Adam.
Sure.
Okay? So don't tell me about other options. There aren't any other options. What we're looking for at the moment is to make the big fights, and you're just creating controversy out of nothing.
Not controversy, but you're the promoter, and I'm sure Rikki wants these fights
and Sky buy the fights. And if Sky want the real big fights, then you've got to come up with more money from. What we're doing is trying to do it. We have no American TV tonight, and we need American TV to make them work.
Will there be American TV October?
If he's got the big fight, there will be, and that's what we're working on to do. So we don't need the silly controversy that you're trying to cause.
I'm not trying to cause controversy. I just wondered, Rikki, if you think you're going a bit stale and you're desperate for that challenge and really want it to happen no matter what.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I want the challenge. I mean, I've said, you know, lately that, you know, wanting the challenges, and you know, Frank said that he's got, you know, he's going to get Paul Spadafora and Vivian Harris, and there's no reason for me to think otherwise. You know, hopefully that'll be the fight that will be made in October. I mean, I don't have many off nights, but you know, tonight I was a bit below par. I think I normally like to give myself at least 10 weeks to get ready for the fight, and because of my hand injuries after the last one, I had to cram it all into 5 weeks, and I think that was why I was a little bit flat. But you know, I don't often have too many bad nights, but you know, I'll mark one down there tonight, a little bit below average.
You're still unbeaten. We still watch with interest. Well done, Ricky. It's a huge night for him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome home the champion from Manchester, Rikki the Hitman Hаттон.
He's getting a huge reception from these Manchester fans. 8,000 packed into the Men Arena as they play his theme tune, the Manchester City theme tune, Blue Moon. And for those of you who are new to the Hаттton story, let me remind you that he was on Manchester City's books as a teenager and might have turned out to be a footballer. In the sky blue colours, still only 23, and there's some atmosphere he's coming into there.
It's a great atmosphere. You know, he's a very, very good prospect. He's really looked at business, and we expect a great deal of him. But this is a tough fight with a name. You know, it really is a big night in Rikki Hatton's life, and we've got to see a very good performance from him here.
25 fights, 25 wins, 20 inside schedule, and 15 of them inside 4 rounds. And this story, you feel, is gathering momentum, and quickly now.
Yes, it is. You just got to look at the fans. I mean, everybody are really taken to Rikki Hatton. He is an electrifying kid. You know, he's fighting so well. Very, very exciting.
People aren't daft. They've seen him. They know he can fight. Here's the tale of the tape for the fight tonight. Hatton's 23, 15 years younger than the former world champion Freddie Pendleton, who's a bit taller, the American, and has a distinct reach advantage. Both of them a quarter of a pound inside the 10-stone limit for this fight. Big difference in experience. Pendleton around since 1981, when people like Larry Holmes, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler were in their pomp. He's had 77 fights against Hatton's 25. He's mixed with so many big names and fought nearly 500 rounds. Hatton may have all of that ahead of him, but he has to win this.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the MEN Arena here in this fabulous city of Manchester, England. Tonight, Frank Warren Sports Network, in association with our main sponsors Red Square and the Daily Star, proudly presents 12 3-minute rounds for the WBU Light Welterweight Championship of the World. We'd like to welcome our viewers watching live and exclusively on Sky Sports and Showbox, the new generation. All of our officials this evening are appointed by the WBU in association with the British Boxing Board of Control. WBU President of ringside is Mr. John Robinson. Commissioner is Mr. Charlie Robinson. Our timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Colin Roberts. We have 3 scoring judges at ringside who are all from England. Carl Rogers, Reg Thompson, and Tony Walker. And when the action commences, our referee is one of the world's elite, and taking part tonight in his 95th world title contest is Mr. Mickey Van from Leeds, England. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World Championship Boxing. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the red corner. He's wearing the red-colored shorts with a gold trim. At the weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone 13 and 3/4 pounds, or 139 and 3/4 US pounds. He has a fabulous record of 77 contests, 47 wins, 35 of those wins coming by way of knockout, 25 defeats and 5 draws. He's the former IBF lightweight champion of the world and one of the finest fighters of his generation. Tonight, he is the challenger for the championship from Miami, Florida. Please welcome to Manchester, fearless Freddie Pendleton. And introducing his opponent. He's wearing the black-colored shorts with a blue and white trim. At the weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone 13 and 3/4 pounds, or 139 and 3/4 US pounds. He has an awesome record, undefeated in 25 professional contests, 25 wins, 20 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He's the former undefeated light welterweight champion of Great Britain. Tonight, he makes the 3rd defense of his world championship. He is without doubt the WBU light welterweight champion of the world from Manchester, England, Rikki the Hitman Hаттон. Our referee, Mr. Mickey Van, will now give his final instructions to both boxers. This is 12 3-minute rounds for the WBU Light Welterweight Championship of the World.
Hey boys, you both had your instructions in the dressing room. No notice with the head. Shake hands, back to your corners. Good luck.
In his last fight, Freddie Pendleton was put in with another prospect, a guy called Horatio Garcia of California, beat him inside a round. He still might be a danger man, particularly with the right hand early on. Hаттton has to watch for that. Having said that, the only other time he had to boil down to this weight in the last 3 years, he was taken out by one of the world's top 10 men, Ben Wonder Taki. So what happens here? And look at that right hand straight away. I tell you what, Pendleton looks up for this.
Yes, he is up for this. I think this is, he really wants to show something. You look at Hаттton, he's pale skin, like a schoolboy. Pendleton's been around with so many good fighters. He's going to go in there, he's going to be very confident.
Almost ghoulish, ghostly looking Hаттton. Listen to the atmosphere in here. I think some people in Hatton's camp, not Hаттton himself, a little bit worried about Pendleton's pedigree and reputation, wondering whether this is such a smart move. We'll find out, and pretty soon too. But if Hаттton is going to be the fighter we think, he has to win against veterans like this. And he gets him with a right hand to the body, and with a left hook too. Body punching could be the answer, because Pendleton in recent times has fallen apart under that kind of attack, as he did against Felix Trinidad, one of the great modern champions.
It's going to have a big effect, especially when he falls down to this weight. The body punching of Hаттton, which is excellent, could take its toll.
And there goes the body shot and the left hook. Pendleton, little show of bravado as he taps his ribs. This man who's been there and done it for 20 years, and looking to prove that he's just more than a trial horse now. It's a great attack though from Hаттton, who looks fired up, motivated for this. Impossible not to be in this atmosphere.
And also he knows how good Pendleton is. He knows the sort of name that's on his record. He wants to impress and look good.
Heavy shots early here from Hаттton. He's got him with a lock to the ribcage, and not only with his trademark left hook either, some good shots with the right hand as well.
Some left hook in there from Hаттton just made the legs tremble.
And he's getting to Pendleton here with these body punches early. It's tremendously impressive from this young Manchester fighter who gives himself the nickname once owned by the great Thomas Hearns, Hitman.
Well, it's a nickname that takes some carrying, but Hatton doing his best to carry that nickname very well.
And if Pendleton arrived with some big ideas and ambition, Hatton's doing his best to knock those ideas right out of his head. Pendleton hasn't crumbled under the onslaught, has he? Not yet. He gets him with a good right hand, right on the bell, the American.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Power-wise?
For that. Shots landed in the first round. Hatton 14, Pendleton 1 right at the end of the round it was. It was a tremendously impressive start.
It was a very good start. Pendleton came out with the big right hand, missed, and then after that, all Hatton. He marked him down, got the body punching, working very well, and that's a good ploy against somebody like Pendleton. Really try and take it out of the body, weaken that, and then move to the head.
Hatton, who always says his opponents see him at the press conferences and look at him, he looks like a 15-year-old boy. He's as white as a sheet. They get a terrible shock when they face him in the ring.
Well, that's one thing. I think they get a bit overconfident when they see him in the weigh-in. Certainly a bit of realization when the bell rings.
Second round. An important test for Hatton, who says he's not a prospect anymore, wants to throw the L plates in the waste paper bin. Looking to show America as well tonight, remember, that he's a serious fighter. Pendleton will still have his punch, be sure of that. Whether his footwork can get him into position at the age of 38 to land the punches, another matter. He just mustn't get too careless, must he, Hatton?
No, he's got to watch that right hand. It's a very quick overhand right that Pendleton throws, and Hatton coming in, he doesn't want to walk under that.
There has been criticism of Hatton. It's been that he's too easy to hit, cuts up too much, and won't last. That's what the worst of his detractors say, but it doesn't matter how good you are, there'll always be people who have a pop.
And the punch that he has been open to in the past has been the right hand. That's Pendleton's favourite punch.
He's getting his left glove up high all the time, Hatton, because he knows about that. All the time, this cagey old warrior, Pendleton, will be thinking and working on the style of Hatton and trying to think of one or two answers, but he's got to get through, first of all, to get himself in any kind of position to have an answer. Rocked again, Pendleton there. Head and body attack from Hatton, who's brawling his man up against the ropes and giving him the roughhouse treatment too.
Well, this is impressive and a mature display from Hatton. Really going about his work, trying to get to that body.
Hatton, who travels to America next week to see the showdown between the two top men in this division, Judah. And he's curved again there with a left to the body. Pendleton looking a bit the worse for wear as another right hand goes in here. Heavy shot, breathing heavily, Freddie Pendleton. Hatton's getting to him now. And he goes down under the onslaught. Rolls over in theatrical fashion, Freddie Pendleton, but I don't think he fancies these body punches, and I don't think he's going to get up either. Rikki Hаттton here is on the verge of a big win. He's got it, counted out, knocked out. Hatton throws the gum shield out of the ring in celebration. It was a spectacular performance. Take that, America, he says.
Well, you can see what that meant to him. He really enjoyed that, and so he should. An excellent performance from Rikki Hаттton. Pendleton still on the floor, still in a bit of pain. He really took some heavy punches. Hatton thought there was a weakness there. He kept at that, and it proved right.
He's still down there and gasping for breath. This man is the best body puncher, I've said it before, since our own Barry McGuigan in the mid-1980s. And if you've never caught Ricki Hаттон before and were wondering what all the fuss was about, I hope what you've just seen has told you. Pendleton is still down. Pendleton said to the doctor, apparently, good shot. Wasn't the doctor who threw it there, was it?
It wasn't. They were excellent shots. What I liked about him was the way he went about his work. You know, he wasn't overawed. You know, this man's got a great name, been in with a lot of good fighters, and yet Hаттon went about his work like anybody else. You know, didn't show him any respect. Straight in, got the big body punching going straight away.
This is the attack that set it all up from Ricki Hаттon.
Yes, he's looking both sides, leaning round, trying to get that shot right behind the elbow, find the gap. There's the first one. That one, look, just taking a little gulp of air there. You see the pause, he's heard from that. Then the jab, steadying them up. Just waiting for the right gap just to get in. Another big heavy punch. Really does look for the right spot.
And here comes the knockout punch now. Left hook into the rib cage. That was the shot that did it.
Well, he's in a lot of pain. He rolls over. He was down for an awful long time. I think really he'd been hurt in the round. He felt the pain. He felt how hard he hit, and I just don't think he wanted any more of it.
And I think he shouted over the ropes. He was heard to shout on that far side, "It's time." Maybe he thinks it's time now to retire and take up his new career writing novels and TV comedies. Not that there was anything funny about the punchline here for him.
Well, you see how much it meant to Hаттon. Real determination there. He enjoyed that in front of his home crowd. Really whooping it up, and the crowd loved it.
I think Pendleton arrived here fancying his chances a little bit, having beaten another prospect last time out, but Hаттon quickly dissuaded him of the idea. Pendleton is all right. It'll be interesting to hear what he makes of it all afterwards and how he rates Hаттon alongside the many top fighters that he's fought. Remember, Pendleton has beaten people like Roger Mayweather, Livingston Bramble, Jorge Paez, Tony Lopez in his career. Big names. He's 38 now. Okay, he's faded, but Hаттon could not have done that any more convincingly than that. He really has made a statement about his world class tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 40 seconds of round number 2, our referee, Mr. Mickey Van, has reached the count of 10. Your winner by knockout and still the WBU light welterweight champion of the world, Ricki the Hitman Hаттon.
They loved it. All these Manchester fans. They saw a spectacular.
The WBU Commissioner for
This story is getting better and better for Ricki Hаттon. More on Hаттon in just a moment or two, but we're only getting started here tonight. Still to come. Don't get to speak to us now.
Simply stunning performance, Ricki Hаттon. 26th fight, 26 wins, 21 by knockout, and one of your most satisfying, surely, against a former world champion.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I don't think you have to be an Einstein or a boxing fanatic to know Freddie Pendleton. 38 years of age, but one thing they don't lose is the punch, particularly in the early rounds, and to win that quickly, you know, was absolutely delighted, because Freddie Pendleton has achieved in boxing what I still hope to achieve, and it's been a pleasure sharing the ring with one of the modern greats in a way.
That's it, he's been in with Pernell Whitaker and Felix Trinidad, and the sort of fight you needed, and you were nervous beforehand and boxed so well.
Yeah, but I always said, you know, I had 4 opponents to choose from in this fight, and Freddie was the best one, so I chose him because I have confidence in my own performance, and I've said from day one, as the opposition gets better, you know, I'll get better. I had a good fighter in there tonight, a good name, and that just made me all that much sharper and all that much better.
Knocked out in round 2, and the American TV cameras here, they're going to be sending some warnings out there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, we've got the unification match next week with Zab Judah and Costa Zoo. And I'd like to say I'm a pretty down-to-earth guy, and I say it how it is. You know, I'm a little bit behind them, but slowly but surely I'm creeping on them, and there's no doubt I will get there. And it's been great to showcase my ability tonight, again on Sky for all my viewers in Great Britain, and also to the Showbox and Showtime viewers in America.
And it seems to us that everybody's starting to talk about Rikki Hаттton now as a really leading British fighter.
Well, you know, I've won one version of a world title, and I certainly don't think it's going to be my last. I keep getting better all the time. I'm improving with every training session in the gym with Billy, not just every fight. Believe me when I tell you, the best is yet to come.
Is there a message to Costa Zoo and Zab Judah before their fight next week?
No, just, you know, I'm on the tail now. You know, I've been saying the names for the last 12, maybe 18 months, 2 years, but I'm getting there, and I am going to get there. And when I do get there, you know, I'll be better again.
It's an incredible story, Rikki, and we'll follow you every step of the way. Thank you very much.
I just like to say thank you to Manchester, and hello to all the kids at the Nichols Police Amateur Boxing Club.
Champion, Rikki the Hitman Hаттton.
A sign that the British boxing public is slowly waking up to Rikki Hаттton. Tonight the Wembley Conference Centre is sold out, and that very, very rarely happens. Well, it's a big entrance, and it's being served up here as a little hors d'oeuvre. I wonder what Ralsell is thinking. He can look at this on the big screen. I think he knows what Hatton's about, but he's looked, hasn't he, Hatton, Glenn, as if he's one of the most dangerous unarmed men in the country.
He really has.
Hatton prepares to make his entrance through the smoke here. It's the Manchester City theme tune that he always comes into, Blue Moon. He says, you can think up any ring entrance you want for me, but once I hear that music, I feel okay.
He's a big, big Man City fan. He really does love that team. And I think this is the sort of thing that motivates him. He's a very different young man.
Well, he's going to watch City tomorrow, but there's much more important business for him tonight. I'm sure somewhere in a hotel, probably, the City players will be watching this. They all know him well. He's big mates with Kevin Keegan. Tonight, this fight going out as well in the United States on a delayed showing in 5 hours' time, their time. So that'll be more or less big-time viewing in the States.
Well, and that's a great thing for Rikki Hаттton. The fact is that the American public get a chance to see him, and I think they'll really like him. He's got an American-type style, very aggressive, good skills. He's like a young Roberto Duran. He really is very, very good. And I think that the American public, when they see him, you know, they really take to him.
So Rikki Hаттton against Justin Ralsell, Hatton's 4th defence of his WBU light welterweight championship. The tail of the tape for tonight's confrontation. Hаттton is 23, Ralsell's 29. The Australian is taller and has a reach advantage. If he can make it count for him, he's got to keep Hatton away from him. Both half a pound inside the 10-stone limit. Ralsell's been a professional for 5 years longer. He's only had 8 more fights, mind you, but he has boxed 19 more rounds. The reason for that is that Hatton keeps blowing away people early, mind you. 80% knockout percentage so far for the Manchester fighter, with a huge army of support here tonight.
A very good evening and welcome to the legendary Wembley Conference Centre here in this historical city of London, England. Tonight, Frank Warren Sports Network, in association with our main sponsor, Red Square, the championship drink, proudly present 12 3-minute rounds for the WBU Light Welterweight Championship of the World. We'd like to welcome our viewers watching live and exclusively on Sky Sports and Showbox, the new generation. Our officials have been appointed by the World Boxing Union in association with the British Boxing Board of Control. WBU President at ringside is Mr. John Robinson. Commissioner Charlie Robinson. Our British Boxing Board of Control representative is Mr. Simon Block. Timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Peter McCann from Harrow. We have 3 scoring judges at ringside who are all from England. Carl Rogers, Reg Thompson and Tony Walker. And when the action commences, our referee tonight, taking part in his 96th World Championship contest, is one of the world's elite, Mr. Mickey Van from Leeds, England. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World Championship Boxing. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the red corner, he's wearing the red colored trunks with the black trim. At the weight he's scaled 139.5 pounds, or 9 stone 13.5 pounds. He has an awesome record. 34 contests, 31 wins. 24 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only the 1 solitary defeat and 2 draws. He is the challenger this evening, hailing from New South Wales in Australia. Please welcome to Wembley, Justin the Cowboy Russell. And his opponent, boxing out of the blue corner. He's wearing the black, white and blue colored shorts. At the weight he scaled 139.5 pounds, or 9 stone 13.5 pounds. He's undefeated in 26 professional contests, 26 wins, 21 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former undefeated light welterweight champion of Great Britain. Tonight, he takes part in his 4th defense of his championship. He is the WBU light welterweight champion of the world from Manchester, England, Rikki the Hitman Hаттон. Our referee, Mr. Mickey Van, will now give his final instructions to both boxers. This is 12 3-minute rounds for the WBU Light Welterweight Championship of the world.
Okay, fellas, you both had your instructions in the dressing room. Just remember what I told you, no more is with the head. Shake hands, buddy corners.
The other good thing for Hаттton is his problem with cuts earlier in his career hasn't recurred in the last 3 fights, though I noticed that Raulzal has got quite a growth of beard there, which might be a problem in clinches, Glenn.
Well, it could be. I mean, I think one of the problems really is clashes of heads. And they said this guy is a little bit tricky, a little bit unorthodox, so whether that has a bearing on the fight, we'll have to see.
5th fight of the year for Hаттton. He's won the other 4 by stoppage, and it's taken him a total of 15 rounds to do it with his body punching. Raulzal been around a bit, caught by the left hook and looking a little bit open to it too. Dropped the gloves as it landed. Hatton's watched many videos of this man in action. He was due to fight him in October. Raulzal wanting to hold on. But how much has he got left? He's only had 1 fight in the last year, this Australian, which is a little bit worrying, isn't it?
Yes, he has had a lot of inactivity, and really you want to be fighting often to go into a fight with Rikki Hаттton. You've got to be busy and you've got to be well prepared.
Hatton's starting to get a reputation, but with that comes a kind of pressure to perform. He's already getting in with some hurtful shots to the body. There is that left hook that's finished off a few opponents already. He's going for it. It's that same shot. Digging the feet into the canvas, getting loads of leverage, and Rousal under heavy pressure in round one. Two uppercuts and a left hook. Not much back from the Aussie so far. Is he a busted flush? He's not going to be able to take too much more of this. Hatton here has him fried on these ropes. Nothing coming back, right uppercut. Rousal is not throwing anything back. Mickey Van is looking very closely. The referee, Hatton threatening to do this inside a round.
Well, Hatton do everything he wants to do with Rousal in there. Uppercuts, body punching, really is just going to town.
Another left hook to the body. Rousal does try to throw back. But this is proving to be a very long 3 minutes, and there's still 50 seconds left of it. With this beleaguered Aussie. Oh, lovely little right cross, two of them. It's an absolute pummeling, hammering that Hatton's handing out. It's not so much who Hatton's beaten in his career so far, it's the way he's done it, like this.
Well, he's giving himself room, he's stepping round, he's getting the gap.
He's knocked him out of the ring. Rousal has to hold onto a rope to try to clamber back. He didn't quite tumble out onto our television monitors, but nearly. And it's a wonder that he was only down once in that round. How did he get through it? He's in a bad way, Glenn.
Yes, he is in a bad way. They're just waiting for the stool there, giving him a bit of support. But he got hit with everything there. He couldn't get out of the way. He hasn't got the speed or the movement to get out of the way. So really, he's right there for Hatton to get to. And when Hatton's got an opponent on the ropes like this, really that's where Hatton is at his best. He's just really working the Australian over and then hits him and he falls out the ring.
Well, he hadn't had a first round win for 3 years, Rikki Hattton, but I thought it was going to happen then.
Well, it almost did. I think if he just had a little bit more time, he'd have gotten him.
A lot of refs might have stopped it, I think.
Well, I think he gave him the benefit of the doubt in a big fight, and then luckily the bell went.
He landed 42 punches. Rousal did land 10. Don't ask me what they were.
Well, he managed to get a few little flurries in when he had his back on the rope, but nothing cleanly really landed.
Here's the second round. Hatton is so thorough and professional in his approach to everything. He's super dedicated. And there's the left hook again. He does look increasingly like a fighter who's ready to go in at the very top right now. Massive left hook. The towels come in from the Australian's corner. Mickey Van, the referee, hasn't seen it though. Mickey Van hasn't seen that towel, and Fenech takes more angry action at ringside to the referee. Jeff Fenech is saying to the ref, look, I've thrown in the towel. Eventually Mickey Van steps in, and Rikki Hattton, well, he might look like a choir boy, but put him in a ring, he turns into an absolute monster.
Yes, he does. More the babyface than the hitman. But he is a tremendous fighter. What you like about him is the way he goes to get his opponent out there. He doesn't give them a moment. He doesn't think about boxing, having a few rounds. He goes in there to get him out.
There's his mum, Carol. Dad's here as well. And this big sellout crowd salute Hatton, who gives himself his own Christmas present 10 days early. Have to say about Rousal, Hatton's way ahead of his league already, isn't he, really?
Yeah, way ahead. I mean, I think, the quicker you can get Hatton in with the big names, the better, because I think he's ready for that. He thrives on that sort of thing.
Now, let's have a look at this again. The towel is thrown in by Rousal's corner for Mickey Van. I don't think it was his fault, really. He was sort of facing the other way. Didn't see that. You saw the towel flutter through. It's behind Mickey Van.
That's right, he went behind him. I mean, Mickey Van is a good referee. He was right on top of the situation anyhow. You know, so it was just a matter of time before he saw the opportunity to get in there. So it didn't make that much difference. But it was obviously the corner knew that their man was not up to this sort of task, and they wanted to get him out.
And then Mickey Van did step in himself, and I don't think he'd still seen that towel there. That's enough, he says. All over round 2, and Hatton takes it to 27 fights, 27 wins, 22 inside schedule, 18 of those wins inside 4 rounds. That's what it means to him. And now he can relax a bit. He's due to fight again, I hear, in February. Then Eamon McGee, the Commonwealth champion, in April. There's his mate James Bowers, who's been seriously ill, and Rikki Hаттон says that he is my hero. Puts everything in life into context. Befriended Rikki in the gym. Look at that. You see, nice guys do finish first, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and it's wonderful to see. You know, making a young man very, very happy there. And I think, you know, Rikki gets a lot of happiness out of having him around.
And James has become a bit of a star himself, I hear, from his TV appearances, which is wonderful.
His dancing's getting no better, but
that's brilliant. Brilliant.
He's a lovely kid.
Let's hear it officially anyway. Here he comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 36 seconds of round number 2, our referee, Mr. Mickey Van, has stopped the contest. In his opinion, Rosell being unable to continue. Your winner, and still the WBU light welterweight champion of the world from Manchester, England, Rikki the Hitman Hаттon.
Well, it was an absolute pasting by Hаттon. No other word for it.
And I'm sure
could easily have ended in a round.
For a very game and brave challenger, Justin Rosell.
Now, I tell you what I'd like to see happen with Hаттon now. I know he's anxious now to get to the world #1 Costa Hsu, and incidentally, Rosell was Hsu's sparring partner regularly for 4 years, which may not have done him too much good. I'd like to see Rikki now fight somebody like a Jesse James Lehar, former world champion, but a big name still. Ben Taki, the dangerous Ghanaian. Maybe DeMarcus Corley, who holds the WBO championship, which means a whole lot more than this WBU one. Somebody like that. Mickey Ward, maybe, who was in that great fight with Shane Erie. Something like that, Glenn.
Yeah, I think we need it this evening with a name that the public recognises. You know, somebody that's been around, just a little step up from the opponents that he's got at the minute. And you know, just before he gets to the Costa Hsus and the big names, just give him that little platform and let him hit one of the guys that you mentioned, somebody like that, to get him right.
I think one problem he might have is that Costa Hsu is going to see videos of this while he's in America, and unless Hаттon gets to be #1 contender for him, is he going to want him? Probably not. Anyway, we'll find out a lot more now as Rikki and Frank Warren, I think, is in there as well, and Billy Graham, the trainer. They're with Adam Smith.
Well, Rikki Hаттon, 27-0, your 5th win of the year. It was quite simply breathtaking. How do you do it?
Yeah, I was delighted with the win. You know, I don't think this was a tougher fight than what most people would have thought. You know, just in boxing, Olympic Games, World Championship and Commonwealth Games, and his record was fantastic as a pro. So everyone was, you know, saying that I was the favourite, probably rightly so. But this was an harder test on paper than it, you know.
He couldn't deal with your angles, your velocity of punches, your power, and maybe it should have been stopped to the end of the first.
Maybe. I particularly, you know, I wasn't very happy with my performance. I think the worst thing happened, I hurt him too quick, and I tend to smother my work. I got a little bit too close, you know. When you hurt someone that quickly in the fight, it was a bit of a rush of blood to the head, and I smothered a bit of my work. But that's the way I am. I'm always nitpicking, I'm always moaning, so... But, you know, we move on, you know.
I don't think there's much to moan about. Let's bring Frank Warren straight in right now. When are we going to get Rikki Hаттon against a world-class fighter? Let's say a Mickey Ward, a Ben Taki, a DeMarcus Corley. What's next?
We'll do those fights next year. That's what we're looking to do. Ricky's going to fight again in February, and then we'll be looking towards... I'm looking to try and make the Costa Hsu fight, if we can, sometime in September. That's what we'd like to do.
Can you make that, and when, Frank?
I just said in September we're trying to make it, and why can't we make it? Of course we can do it. It's just that Ricky has got to keep busy. Sue said he's not going to fight for a while. I understand he's going to fight in Australia, so the fight can't be made early anyway, so we're talking about September for that fight.
Does he need more of a test before that with one of the fighters I've just been talking about, a top American?
Well, DeMarcus Corley's got to defend his title against Julio from Colombia. That's a mandatory defence, so he's out for a while. Maybe we'll look at the Benteke fight, but you know, we'll make the matches, and we'll make the right matches the way we're doing, and then when you apply and take your matchmaker's licence out, you can do something for us.
Well, Ricky, you tell me when you want Costas Hugh, the world champion, the unified king of the light welterweights.
Well, as a fighter, that's what I am, you know. I'm a fighter, you know. I like to fight regularly, and I'll take on all comers, you know. I'd fight him tomorrow if I had the choice. But I've got a fantastic team behind me, you know. Frank Warren, one of the best promoters in the world. Billy Graham, as far as I'm concerned, the best trainer in the world, you know. It's all a team effort, and I'm the baby of the team. So, you know, the minute they give me the nod, you believe me, Frank, the minute you give me the nod, them belts are coming back to England, I'm telling you.
2001, a great year. 2002, the year that makes Ricky Hatton.
I think so, yeah. I'd like to thank all my supporters for coming down from Manchester. I know it's very difficult for you guys and girls, you know, this near Christmas. And I'd like to thank the Wembley supporters. It's been a pleasure coming to the capital performing again. And to all boxing fans, you have a very happy Christmas, and I'll see you next year.
From the United States tonight, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for our light welterweight special attraction, prepare to welcome to the ring, here is Manchester's own Ricky Hatton.
So here is 21-year-old Ricky Hatton, voted the Young Boxer of the Year last year from Manchester, and he really has looked the part so far. Unbeaten in 16 fights, and he's won 12 of them by knockout, usually with ferocious body punches. Mexican opposition for him tonight, and the trick at the moment for him, Glenn, is just to keep winning, isn't it?
Yes, that's all he has to do. Everything's going very well for him in his career. He looks good. People are talking about him. You know, he's starting to pick up a few on us. All he needs to do is keep winning, keep building up the fans. He's very, very exciting.
He's a real student of boxing as well, Ricky, a very amiable young man, and mature beyond his years about this business, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's very sensible. He knows what he wants to do. You know, he's a fan of the game. He watches all the good fighters and tries to model himself and get little pieces of them just to mold into his style. But he really is the most natural fighter I've seen in a long time. You know, for a prospect, really is. Does everything well.
So Ricky Hatton fighting Leoncio Garces of Mexico City tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and welcome to the Manchester Evening News Arena as we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you courtesy of Frank Warren Sports Network in association with America Presents Showtime Championship Boxing, and is sponsored by the AlphaClub.com. At this time, we present a special attraction featuring light welterweights in the ring and about scheduled 8 3-minute rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first our referee in charge of the bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Mickey Van. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with white trim, joining us from Mexico City, Mexico. He weighed in at 10 stone, 1.5 pounds. His fine record stands at 10 wins, 2 losses, with 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Leoncio Garces. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner in this 8-round attraction, wearing black trunks with white and blue trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Manchester, England. His weight, 10 stone, 1.75 pounds, undefeated in his record at 16 wins, no losses and 12 knockouts. Here is the WBO Intercontinental Champion, introducing the undefeated Ricky Hatton. Once again, a referee in charge, Mickey Van, now to give instructions. 8 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Okay, boys, you both had your instructions in the dressing room. Shake hands. Come up and hear the bell. Good luck, boys.
So one of the problems for Ricky Hаттton here is that this Mexican, he hardly knows anything about him. Only really knew who he was fighting about a week ago. And he's a little worried about that, Ricky Hаттton. I was talking to him at the weigh-in. So Hаттton, regarded generally as the best prospect in the country, still only 21, in the black, white and blue trunks, the red of the Mexican Leoncio Garces, who's allegedly an exciting, crowd-pleasing type with a bit of power. We shall see.
Well, this is the type of fight he's got to come up against, Hаттton. He's got to take people on that he doesn't know, and you know, and be able to work them out inside the ring and be able to still win.
He'll be just assessing this man in front of him as he goes along here in the first round, trying to see what he's got. What we do know about Garces is he's won 10 out of 12 fights with 6 knockouts and lost a couple of times, but both times on points. Never stopped yet. So Hаттton will do well if he manages to stop him. Right hand, looked quite a dangerous shot, and Hаттton rather caught out by that, wasn't he?
Well, he's been caught out with a few punches already, a few decent left hooks, a right hand. He's got to tighten up his defense. That's one of the criticisms against him. Sometimes he's a little open, but he's got to try and sort this Mexican out and sort him out pretty quick.
Good right hand from Hаттton himself. Hаттton, who has problems, or has had in the past, with cuts. Has that kind of skin, as you can see. Good left hook from him. He's usually very, very stiff with the jab as well, Hаттton. We can see with this Mexican already that the overhand right is a dangerous weapon from him.
Just watching this at the start, Hаттton just seems a little tense, a little stiff, a little upright. You know, he's not as loose as he normally is. So maybe, you know, just being unaware of what this guy's like has just put him off a little.
And that's giving this Mexican 1 or 2 opportunities early on here. Hаттton yet to fight for the British title, but there are those who believe he has the capacity to maybe make it to world level.
Well, Hаттton was caught with another decent right hand there, and he just has to be a little careful as he comes in.
They're often teak tough, these little Mexicans. They're brought up in a hard school over there. That's a great jab by Hаттton.
Garces looks a little raw, but he does look strong.
Strong, and looks too as if he wants a real argument, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's certainly not fazed by any sort of reputation Hаттton might have.
Good left hook to the body there from Hаттton. That's his trademark shot at the end of a difficult round for him. Billy Graham calls himself the preacher, predictably enough, working the corner.
There's that good jab from Hаттton. He managed to get his right hand up at that point. Early on he was caught with a few punches, but he started to relax a little bit as the round went on. There's a good jab again from Hаттton, this time to the chest, just pushing Garces off balance. There it is, just aiming for the chest and just pushing him against the ropes. Hаттton was just starting to get looser towards the end. Good body punch there.
10 seconds corners.
Hаттton landing more in that opening round, which we think he probably just shaded. Already around this arena, you can almost feel the electricity building towards the British debut of Mike Tyson. Hаттton, remember, in the blue, black and white trunks, getting you here with some hurtful looking shots, pinning Garces in the corner, but look at the Mexican trying to fight his way out of there.
Goss's rugged and fiery. He's got that sneer on his face, waiting for Hatton to come in, waiting for Hatton to commit himself and catch him with a counter.
Just occasionally, Hatton's defence not looking quite as good as he would like. He is something of a perfectionist about himself, analyses his own performances and keeps videos of all the fighters at world level in the division. Now that's a really good right hand and left hook to the body, and another right too from Hatton. The snappier, classier shots coming from the young man from Manchester, who was once on Manchester City's books, by the way.
But Hatton is having to take one or two as he comes in, and has been cut in the past. He's got to be careful when he's inside.
Scything body shots from Hatton.
He's showing good technical ability there, turning his man, stepping up the side, and then a body punch.
Just hit the gloves with that shot. Bit of a slap, really, from Hatton. Less coming back from the Mexican now. I think he's feeling the weight of these body punches, Glenn.
Yes, he's now starting to have to think about some of the punches that he's having to take off Hatton.
Many people around the game in this country who believe Hatton is good enough to win the British Championship right now, and he's hurt him there. He's hurt Garces there. Mickey Van steps in. He wasn't actually down, but the ropes kept him up at that point.
6, 7, 8.
So the count is justifiable. Mandatory 8 count. Garces hurt in the second. Has Hatton got him here? It's the body shots that are doing it again for him. There's another one. Garces is hurt and a little disorientated. Huge right to the head as well now.
Good variety from Hatton. He's starting to really hurt Garces, and you can see him. He's getting sick in there. Good punches coming in from Hatton.
Trying to cover up desperately as the round ends. It was a big round for Rikki Hаттton. And meanwhile, backstage, the arrival of Mike Tyson. There he is. We heard talk about him threatening to walk out of the fight yesterday. He flared up in a row over money, but he's here. And how's he look, Glenn?
He looks fine. He looks relaxed. The crowd can see Tyson on the screens above the ring. There's a massive roar went out when they saw him.
Looks like a scene from Men in Black, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Seal it up.
He's got some heavy-looking people around him, but he stands out in his green jacket.
Look, he's relaxed enough here. Go on, get a shot of that, he's saying. He's trying to sell something, isn't he, here?
Well, it's got Tyson gear. I think he's probably wondering if he's getting any money off that.
You'll see him later. Meanwhile, third round with Rikki Hаттton. You may not be familiar with the name if you're not a regular watcher of the boxing, but I think you might become familiar with it over the next 2 or 3 years. Well in control here against this Mexican Leoncio Garces in the red trunks. Oh, right uppercut, super shot.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is Garces going to make it just about? I'm not sure he understood the count in English, did he?
Well, no, I think he looked at the corner. I don't really think he wanted to go on. His pride made him, but he didn't really want to. I think he's looking at his corner for a bit of help.
I'm not sure he understood the count, you know. I think he meant to get up at 8, but he's definitely now in deep trouble here. Hаттton just has to pick the punches, you would think. Well, he looked very fiery early on, but Hatton's worked him out quickly and knows that these body punches are the key. Oh, big right hand. Referee Mickey Van looking on very closely, thought about stepping in for the stoppage.
Well, this is a good performance from Hatton. Really has got Garces in trouble.
He's hurt, the Mexican. Is he going to punch back? If he doesn't, the referee's going to step in, and he does step in. It is over. The first time that Garces has been stopped in 13 fights, and Rikki Hаттon was too fiery, too ferocious, too powerful, too good.
Well, it was a little bit of a cold start for him, but he quickly found out exactly what to do. Got the measure of Garces, and it wasn't a matter of time before he got his rhythm and really started whipping in the left hooks and the punches to the head. And that was an excellent performance and an excellent stoppage for Rikki Hаттon.
Might have been a first sight, I think, for some of our viewers tonight who've tuned into boxing maybe for the first time just to see Tyson. That'll have been their first glimpse of him. I think they will be hearing more of him.
Well, I think that anybody that watching him for the first time will be impressed. This is a youngster who's boxing writers Young Fighter of the Year, really is a good talent where we've been raving about him for a long time.
This is how the
Continental champion from Manchester, Rikki the Hitman Hаттon.
big support for Rikki Hаттon. 15-0 so far, 11 inside schedule, and already his 6th fight of 1999, but definitely his last this century. You just wonder what the new millennium holds for such a good young talent.
Well, he really is a tremendous young talent. The prospects are very big for him, but you know, he's got to keep his feet firmly on the floor and just take one fight at a time and just get the wins. It's very important for him to keep it level in what he's going to do and not get carried away by the publicity that he's getting. He is a very good prospect.
He could almost be a choir boy coming out for a Christmas carol session, couldn't he, with those looks? But he's a very, very tough customer when he gets in the ring, particularly with his body punches. A growing fan club as well for the young man who lives at Hyde near Stockport. This is what the tail of the tape says. Hаттon, 6 years, the younger man, giving away a little in height and reach. Winters half a pound inside the limit, and Hаттon 3/4 of a pound inside. Winters made his debut in 95, Hаттon 97. Both had the same number of fights nearly to within one. Winters won more there. Boxed a lot more rounds, Winters, so he usually goes the distance. Hаттon, though, with a far, far bigger knockout percentage. He's heavy-handed. Winters has completed 12 rounds 3 times. Hаттon never has had to go that far so far in his career. Hаттon scored 19 knockdowns, see, to Winters' 3, and again underlining the difference in power between them. Winters has been on the floor as well 4 times. Hatton's never been down yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials appointed for this contest by the WBO. The supervisor at ringside, Mr. Rob Smith from London. The steward in charge, Mr. Dennis Lockton. The timekeeper is Mr. Colin Roberts from Halifax. And the judges at ringside, Mr. John Coyle of Wolverhampton, Mr. Paul Thomas from Derby, and Mr. Mickey Van from Leeds. And the man in charge of the action for this contest from London, one of Britain's leading star referees, Mr. Dave Paris. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by Sentinel Healthcare, live on Sky Sports from Everton Park Leisure Centre in Liverpool, it's big fight time. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren proudly presents Championship Boxing and a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the WBO Intercontinental Light Welterweight Championship. Between and introducing the boxers, and firstly, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the red trunks trimmed with white and comes from Antrim in Northern Ireland. He weighed in at 9 stone, 13.5 pounds, and holds a 16-fight professional record. 13 wins, 2 wins by way of knockout with 2 losses and 1 draw. He comes to the ring, the former British champion. Please welcome the challenger for the title, Mark Winters. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the familiar black, silver and blue trunks, coming from Manchester and fighting for Sports Network from the Phoenix Gymnasium. He holds an unbeaten record, 15 fights, 15 big wins, 11 wins by way of knockout. He weighed in at 9 stone, 13 3/4 pounds, and tonight makes the second defence of his Intercontinental title. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Manchester's Rikki the Hitman Hаттон. Referee Mr. Dave Parrish will now give his instructions.
Instructions in a question, boys. Punch with an upper part of the glove. One he goes down, the other goes to the furthest neutral corner. Break when I tell you to. Defend yourself at all times. Shake hands, boys. Good luck to you both.
12 3-minute rounds for the WBO Intercontinental Light Welterweight Championship.
Hаттон defending that stepping stone title here, and I think it really is a very fair test here to put him in with Mark Winters. Can he come back to form here? Winters from Antrim in Northern Ireland. He works as a manager for Thomas Cook's The Travel Agents in Lisbon. Very, very good amateur he was. Can Hаттon make a dent in him with his trademark body shots? 16th pro fight then tonight for Hаттon, being watched as ever by a legion of fans, his mum and dad and 2 grandmothers at ringside. Winters has never been stopped.
Well, he's got the height and the reach, he's got good boxing skills, and you know, one of the criticisms against Hаттon is he's often open and easy to hit, so you know, Winters with those skills and those sharpness should be able to try and use that at long range.
If Hаттon does do a big job here on Mark Winters, you'd have to say that was a significant result, even though Winters' form over the last couple of years hasn't really been that impressive since he lost his British title to Jason Rowland and then got floored and beaten by Junior Witter as well. Positive start by Hаттon, doing all the early work.
Well, I think it's very important for Winters to keep using the jab. Already he's shown he can pick Hаттon up with that jab and those punches at long range, but he needs to keep doing that. He's got to try and keep Hаттon off balance.
He does have these height and reach advantages. Watch the use of the elbow, says referee Dave Parrish to Hаттon. Digging in these rib crunches already. And having quite a lot of success even in the opening round. And it's my understanding that Winters might just be a little bit tight at this weight these days. And if he is, then these body shots are going to be even more damaging than normal. And he's shipping a lot of shots here, Winters, early. He can't afford to take this many, I don't think. He's getting the gloves up and blocking the attempted head punches, but the ones into the body look hurtful and damaging, Glenn.
Well, the variety there from Hаттon was terrific, and they were hard punches, and they did hurt Mark Winters. You know, you could just tell him, you know, gasp for air when some of those punches went in, and this is a very good start from Rikki Hаттon.
Little left uppercut as well there from Hаттon, who's going through his full repertoire here, and it is an impressive repertoire. There's been a lot of hype about him. He's trying hard to live up to that hype, but never getting carried away by it. It's a big opening round by Hаттon. Just down the road from Goodison Park here tonight at the Everton Park Leisure Centre. Rikki Hаттon, look at that, 12 body shots landed to none by Winters in the opening round.
Well, look at those body shots going in. Big right hand there. Then, you know, that's what's good about Hаттon. He can switch. When the hands come down, a left hook goes straight to the head.
Second round. Red trunks of Mark Winters, the 27-year-old from Northern Ireland. He does even throw the jab with malicious intent. Hаттon sets his feet, digs his toes into the canvas for the extra leverage. Winters gets there twice with the jab. He needs to get that punch working, otherwise it's going to be a fairly painful night for him, you'd imagine. Needs to speed up his reflexes as well a bit. He's catching too many, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's got to snap that jab out. He's got to try and, you know, stop Hatton in his tracks and just stop the rhythm of Hatton.
Looks to be some damage by the right eye of Winters. Just a little smear of blood over the right eye. Ooh, fierce-looking left hook from Hatton sets up the latest assault wave. The damage looks minor by that left eye, but damage nonetheless.
Well, Hatton having much more success with the orthodox skills of Winters. I think, you know, if a fight is awkward, it's often difficult for Hatton to get through, but this, you know, just a nice orthodox boxing skills of Winters are making it very easy for Hatton to get through.
Right! Winters just looking a little bit ponderous, isn't he?
Well, I think these punches are taking their toll already. You know, he just looks as if he's lost enthusiasm in there. It's getting hard work for him. You know, he needs to get some success of his own.
It's all Hatton, and we're only in round 2. Oh, another big right, drawing gasps from the crowd as it plunges home. Has this way of rolling and dipping as he throws his punches and plants them in just underneath the elbows of even fighters who are hugging the elbows close to the ribs by way of defense.
Well, Ricki Hatton took the nickname of Tommy Hearns, the hitman. He could well have took the nickname of Mike McCallum, which was the body snatcher, because these are beautiful body punches.
Lovely jab too. He really does look sharp and on the song here today. Well, Winters has got through 2 rounds, but he isn't in it so far. Impressive here tonight. Ricki Hatton living up to his tall reputation. There are a lot bigger tests ahead, but this is a significant one on the way through, and so far it's a test he's passing with flying colours.
Well, this is a test for Ricki Hatton. Certainly is a step up in class, and he's answering it very well, and we're seeing a lot more of what he's got in this fight.
3rd round. Hatton defending his Intercontinental title here. A real championship fight that he should be moving towards quite soon, you'd think, is the British title held by Jason Rowland. He feels he's ready for that now, but they won't be in any special hurry. He's still only 21, and only just 21 as well.
Well, Winters has got to do something to try and keep Hatton off. He's got to use that jab a bit more often, or at least a lot more often, because he's not managing to stop the good offense from Hatton.
Winters has carried the air over the last 18 months or so of a fighter who maybe has just lost a little zip and self-belief, maybe a little interest as well, since his unbeaten record went and he lost his British title. I don't know, the feeling's gone and he just can't seem to get it back. And tonight's experience here so far can't have done too much, Glenn, to rekindle his enthusiasm.
Yes, he needs to get a few more shots off.
Hatton a little quieter so far in this round, and Winters just getting his gloves up well. He's stopping a lot of the headshots, or attempted headshots. It's the body punches that yet again are especially impressive from Hatton. He likes that uppercut as well. Winters doing very, very little himself. He does look like a fighter who might be weak at this weight, doesn't he? His trainer said he was beforehand, Sid McComb.
Yes, he's not really doing anything at all back. You know, he's got to try and get that jab working. He's got to do something. His hand is just walking right through him.
Oh, right hand. Maybe the glove took some of it. Just looks like a survival mission at the moment in there for Mark Winters. Doesn't look like the fighter who beat Carl Wright to take the British title and then defended against Bernard Paul, and he's down and will have to take a count because the ropes only kept him up. No. Well, I thought the ropes kept him up there, Winters, but no count was administered. Maybe it should have been. What do you think, Glenn?
Well, I think it should have been. He certainly slumped, and that was a hard body punch. He would have went down the ropes, did keep him up, but he didn't touch down, and it was ruled no knockdown.
Well, let's have another look at this. There is the body shot. 1, 2, and then he did give him a little shove at the end.
But you can just tell in his face how hurt he is from that. He really did sag down there, Winters. These are good punches. That one really did take a lot out. Look at, you can see the pain on his face.
He's finding this a very, very uncomfortable experience. 33-1 on the body shots landed so far in Hatton's favour. 4th round. I'm not sure how much more of this Winters could take,
Well, I wouldn't think a great deal because he's not throwing the punches back to keep him off. Hatton is really enjoying himself, doing as he likes in there.
The pride, really, I think that's keeping Mark Winters going at the moment. He's just having to suck up the pain and try to battle through, but it's beginning to look already like a hopeless job for him. It's a left hook to the body, and he has to take the count, this time down on one knee. He got up with the count at about 4, has to take a mandatory quiet word, and they've thrown in the towel. Sid McComb, the trainer, throws in a white towel, and it is stopped in the 4th round. Very, very one-sided, but you'd have to say again, as Rikki Hatton's mum celebrates, his brother Matt there as well, who won in the amateurs in Liverpool this morning. Ray Hatton there, Ricky's dad, who used to play for Manchester City, and he never ever had a glimpse of an anxious moment there, Hatton.
He didn't. You can't say anything, but he was very, very impressive. Winters is a quality fighter. He was a former British champion. He's never been stopped as a pro, and Rikki Hatton made very, very light work of that.
So now in 2 fights, he stopped the former Commonwealth champion Bernard Paul in 4 rounds and the former British champion Mark Winters in 4 rounds. And I think he's ready to fight for the British Championship against Jason Rowland right here, right now.
Without doubt, I agree with that. I think they go on about maybe he's not old enough, but I think if you're good enough, you're old enough, and he's good enough. And I don't think there's any point in holding him back. There's fights out there. He's got to go for the likes of the level of the British title, certainly.
And I reckon he's one of the best body punchers we've produced since that fellow who works with us sometimes, Barry McGuigan.
Well, he really is. He digs them in with bad intentions. He's a very good stylist. Used the jab solidly tonight. Winters had the advantage in height and reach, but it didn't make no difference. He had the skills right from the start. And that was a crunching left hook.
He is a great body puncher, Hatton, there's no doubt about it. And there's the towel, the white flag of surrender. And I think that was a sensible decision by fireman Sid McComb in the corner. No point, really, in letting him take any more.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 51 seconds of round 4, the referee Dave Paris has stopped the contest. The winner and still WBO Intercontinental Light Welterweight Champion, Rikki Hаттон. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciations, please. Mark Winters. Supervisor, Mr. Robert Smith, now presents the championship belt to Rikki Hаттon.
Crowders love that effort by Hаттon here tonight, and no doubt backstage where Michael Gomez continues to warm up, the message will have got through to the Gomez camp that Hаттon, the young star, has done his bit. Gomez will be next at super featherweight against the Mexican Oscar Galindo. Time for some reflections on Hatton's performance tonight, though. Lovely way to end the year, making it 16 straight wins. Billy Graham has led his man over to the corner, and Adam Smith can interview both.
Rikki, congratulations, 16 out of 16. Last time it was the former Commonwealth champion, this time the former British champion, again succumbed to body shots.
Yeah, well, I would say probably my last couple performances, even though I wouldn't say they've been drastically bad performances, I felt I was, a little bit from my best, even though I beat a quality opposition in Bernard Paul last time. As the opponents get better, it sort of perks me up a little bit. I have to find another gear, and that's what I found tonight. I've got to watch on the tape, and see how my performance was, but, I'm very happy.
Well, you look terrific. Now, the only time Mark Winters has been stopped was in the amateurs to a body shot. Did you think that was the way to get him? Well,
not necessarily, I think Mark Winters, very good boxer, good amateur pedigree, a real quality opponent, and everybody he's fought, even his defeats, he's pushed the lads to the wire in it, so I was always hoping, and I knew I was capable of getting the stoppage win, but I wanted to do it, showing me boxing skills as well, and hopefully I'll have to watch the tape, like I say, but hopefully I showed that,
Let's bring trainer Billy Graham in. Billy, it's been another terrific year for Rikki. Anything to work on still?
Well, the thing is, tonight we're always critical. I like him he should have done the more sneaky shots, turning the shots up, getting in the middle, creating the openings for the big shots, but he got a bit carried away with himself because he knew he hurt him early on and he wanted to get it over with quickly, you know what I mean?
It should be a great year for him in 2000. Who do you like him to face next?
I don't know yet. We'll have to think about that, you know what I mean? But I think he's going to go all the way, that's for sure. He's fantastic tonight, and he's got an awful lot more than what you've seen tonight.
British title, I hope soon. British title shot. I know Jonathan Faxton will be wanting, I really have to take me out off. I feel really sorry for him. It looks as though he's going to win the fight against Rowlands, possibly. So ideally he would have liked the first crack, but as much as he wants the return, I equally want the return now. I feel I am ready for that now. I feel I don't want to go back to the journeyman level type thing. Good opponents like this is who I want to face, because the better the opponents get, the better I will get. Honestly, it sounds a bit daft that, but it's true. It's absolutely true.
Well done tonight. Congratulations. Enjoy Christmas.
Well done to me.
For the WBU Light Welterweight Championship, and now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world from Manchester, England, it's showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, hailing from Zlatoust, Russia. He weighed in at 9 stone, 13 and 1/2 pounds, or 139 and 1/2 US pounds. His record stands at 34 wins, 2 losses, 18 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the WBC #4 ranked contender and tonight's challenger, introducing Mikhail Krivolompa. And his opponent across the ring on my right, presenting the defending champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black, blue, and silver trunks, hailing from and representing his home of Manchester, England. His weight, 9 stone, 13 and 1/2 pounds, the same as his opponent, 139 and 1/2 US pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 27 wins, no losses, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, making the 5th
corner. This man knows what it's like to lose this title. He had a virus going in that night against Manuel Medina. The brother of Ricky's mother, Carol, who's at ringside tonight with Dad Ray. Very close-knit family. He still lives at home, Hatton. Copy now, whatever you do. Real big-time atmosphere here at the Men Arena in Manchester. Hatton, with his pale skin, the multicoloured trunks, the black of Mikhail Krivolopov, the Russian with the high world ranking from the WBC. Can he live up to that? Can he take Hatton into the later rounds? Will he be able to cope with Hatton's trademark vicious body punching?
Well, he just has to be a bit wary, Hatton, on such a big night that he's just not a bit too keen to get involved. Doesn't walk under anything silly.
Been on the go a lot. Hatton, 5th fight in 7 months. This for him. He's hardly been out of the gym, and there have been 1 or 2 problems in the build-up to this one. An Achilles problem, which has curtailed his road work. The death of his uncle, and his baby son was taken ill as well the other day. Good body shot, the left hook. Krivolopov takes it okay. But these things have a cumulative effect, we've tended to find.
Well, he's doing the right thing, Hatton. He's trying to close down the distance, not let the Krivolopov use that long reach, those long arms. He's got to try and keep nice and busy, keep moving ahead, Hatton.
Low blow there from Krivolopov. Mickey Van quickly on the case. Krivolopov, who did go 12 hard rounds in a close fight for the European Championship with world title contender Oktay Urkal. Now that's good form. Hatton will do well to stop this guy.
Yes, he's never been stopped before, so he's cagey, he's good ranking. This could be a tough fight for Hatton.
What a noise there is in this arena. It's quite incredible, really, how the Hatton story has taken off in recent months. Good little right hand there from Krivolopov, who's quite quick, isn't he?
Yes, he is quick, just jabbing little punches. These are the sort that cut opponents up, the sort of punch that Hatton has not got to get hit with.
Hatton just using his jab to try to set up the assaults. Nice right hand from Krivolopov, who's been quite busy himself. Doesn't look fazed by Hatton's growing and burgeoning reputation.
Well, that's where Hatton can get a bit open to the right hand. Just drop his left a little bit.
Right hand to the body. Hatton's mission to prove himself the top man in this division in the world. I suppose you could call this the start of what he hopes is the final ascent.
Good body punches from Hatton there, both hands landing well.
The cuts problems that plagued him for quite a while. I wonder if they've solved the problem. Tonight might be quite a test of that particular department.
It could be. I mean, it's you know, I think it's just with different sort of styles that bring the problem across. Your head's class, and he's got to be careful. He's got a jerky style Krivolopov, and that's what Hatton has to be wary of.
Second round, due to go 12. Hatton, who idolizes Roberto Duran and tries to model himself on his boyhood hero. That's a good right hand counter. Sometimes a bit open to that, Hatton. If there is a weakness, it's a light leaky defense. He's been working on it. But I guess it comes with the territory of being the rampaging, marauding sort of operator he is.
Krivolopov trying to get his punches out, just keep jerking them out. Not big powerful shots, but starting to try and get his own shots on.
Krivolopov has the look of a man who hasn't just come here to get a bit of fresh air in Manchester.
Well, he'll not be that aware of the excitement surrounding Hatton. You know, he'll see this as a guy who's shorter than him, the guy he can get punches on.
First time tonight that Hatton is going out peak time in America. His other fights have gone out on an afternoon show. Tonight, it's the real McCoy on Showtime in America. So Costa Hughes says he's hardly heard of Hatton, the world #1. Might well have done after watching this. I'm sure he is watching it somewhere, or get a tape of it, because Hatton is making waves on both sides of the Atlantic. There's the uppercut he's been using to some effect early on. And it's a great left hook as well. Krivolopov just stepped back after that one landed.
Yeah, the hands are coming down a little bit. Krivolopov getting a bit reckless.
Of course, with all these glowing reviews comes a pressure on Hatton to keep on performing, to keep on looking the business. Body shot, good one from Hatton. Left hook, using the jab well too. Krivolopov not noted as a big puncher. That might be a problem. Uppercuts on the inside. He's using those a lot.
Very good variety from Hatton. Left hand, right hands, uppercuts through the middle, body shots. Very difficult for Krivolopov to defend against these punches.
Oh, a lovely right uppercut. Big oohs and ahs from the crowd. And it landed in a tremendous left hook from Hatton. And Krivolopov, give him credit, that bounced off his jaw. It could have been a punch to finish the contest with another fighter. Oh, and there's that rib-bending left hook to the body as well. He's starting here, Hatton, to really light the fires.